Hey everybody, welcome to John D Podcast. I'm your host, John D Miller. Welcome to episode number 59, everybody. Number 59, número 59 in the old Espanol language. That's right. 1056, going on 1057 days as I begin to record this of no booze. No booze, yeah. No booze. How are yous? How are yous? How are y'alls? Thanks to anybody and everybody who listened to the last episode, number 58. That was a fun one. And it seems like many of you enjoyed it. How was your holidays? How was your Christmas? Ours was interesting. Me and the whole family had COVID. So, yeah. I think the kid got out on the 21st from holiday break. And then I woke on the 23rd to my lovely wife, Liz, yelling from the other room. Not yelling, in a distressed voice, expressing the fact that our son had COVID. So, and then I ended up getting it, and then my wife got it. So we spent a lot of time hanging out in the house. Couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't do much of anything. So that was fun. Yeah. I hope y'all had a great one though. Happy New Year. On into the future. On into 2024. And again, thanks to everybody who listened to the last episode. Someone asked about last episode though, real quick while I mention it. Who was it? I wrote down the note here. About the traffic and how somebody had said, hey, like I actually heard the traffic for once. Yeah, I told you. You know, these guys, they have these big pickup trucks and they just drive around. They have these big mufflers on them. And they drive around and they make a shit pot of noise. And it gets a little annoying. It just does. I mean, you'd be standing out in the driveway trying to have a conversation. This loud truck, or you're just sitting out there watching traffic. And this thing goes by and it's just ridiculous. There's actually one, I saw this the other night. There's a truck around here recently. I don't know who this person is, but he's got it. It's basically, this guy took a Chevy Silverado and made it look like a spaceship. That's pretty much what he did. It does. The guy has white lights. Like he's got lights all on the front, across the top, I believe. He's got lights in all four wheel wells. He's got like a, first off, I think it's a little squatted too. Maybe it's the fact I'm about to be, 50 years old, but it's just ridiculous. It's one of those things where, and people probably have them where they live. I live in Virginia. I thought stuff like this was illegal, but then they changed the laws back. I don't know, but it is. It's one of those giant look at me moments. Ugh. Yeah, but I don't know who mentioned that, but whoever you were, I wrote it down, and it got into my show notes. Like I actually have it here on my piece of paper in my notebook. So whoever that was who said it, yeah, I told you. And executive producer Topic, that's his voicemail when you call. He said what he's like. You sound like a lunatic because you're yelling at stuff that's not there. And I know the audio gets treated before it gets to you guys. Trust me. At least a little bit in my semi-amateur knowledge. It exists. I'm telling you. It's where I live. But yeah, I mean, not every vehicle's like that. Don't get me wrong. But there is that one or two that come around and these things, I don't know. I don't know what these people are going for. Like, especially that guy with the lights. I don't, look at me. And I don't know, the guy could be a nice dude. I don't know. I mean, it makes you think makes you think he's not, but he could just be some nice kid that lives at home with his parents and he has a lot of disposable income because he has a good job with the county. I don't know. And, maybe that's what he spent his GI Bill on. I don't know. Look at me. Yeah. And like I said, maybe this is my mid-age, older mid-age, whatever. Yeah, 50. I saw it somewhere today where they said, I read it and it said, I'm 50. So I'm old to the young people and I'm too young to the old people. Right. So like I'm old to the younger people and I am young to the older people. Young people are like, oh, you old man. And then you bitch about stuff. And then the older people go, shut the fuck up. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Last time I did a show, a guy came up to me afterwards and was like, what, 50, 49, almost 50. Psh. It's like, I'm 62. Wuss. Yeah, I saw something today. Yeah, that's what it said. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, to the young people, you're old, so anything you say, they're like, doesn't know what he's talking about, especially if it's something more of a modern day thing, right? Or dilemma or technology or whatever. But then the older people, like, you don't know shit. You haven't lived long enough to know what we know. Like, there's no winning right here. It's like being like 11, Like, I'm not 10 anymore, 12. Like, I'm not that young anymore, but I'm not a teenager. Then you get to be like 13. Still don't know anything. 14, all right, maybe we'll start to listen to you. 15, 16, And but his is I always thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, going to be the big 5-0. Not going to do anything. Not going to do much, mostly because, it's one of those things. Like I feel like my wife, she always, because I'm turning 50, she's like, oh, got to do something. And I'm like, I don't feel like I really, I'm not the best at making big birthdays for other people happen. It's a major fault of mine. I would say people are like, well, what do you not like about yourself when it comes to other people and your relationships with them? And I say, I am not good at making their birthdays a big deal. And so, and that I was actually reading this other thing. I remember being a kid and there'd be times where I'd be like, oh, it's your birthday. You happy? And I would be kind of like down. I'd be kind of like depressed about it. And they were saying how there's this psychological I think it was someplace in Australia did it. I know they're on the other side of the earth or whatever. They're hanging upside down, right? But, I think the Australians probably know what's up in a modern society. And they were saying how the psychological study, I believe it was Australia or Austria, right? Whichever. Which I saw something the other day that they're apparently in Austria is a desk or a person that handles people who come in that thought they were going to Australia or vice versa or whatever, and they am going to. If that's the case, anyways, what this psychological study did was it studied people who generally get kind of more down or depressed around their birthdays, not necessarily because they're getting older. That doesn't what causes it. A lot of times, what it is that the person basically feels like they don't feel worthy of having other people celebrate their birthdays. And I thought that is an interesting thing to look at it. When you ask somebody, oh, is it because you're 29 for the fourth time? You ever ask somebody, they're like, no, a lot of times that is what they think it is. They think that it's, people just kind of don't feel worthy of being celebrated themselves. And I'm not saying that. I don't know. I'm such a simplistic person now. My 40th birthday, there was a party at the bar when I turned 40, but everybody was there drinking anyways. That's why there was a bunch of people there. Otherwise, I've never been one to have a huge birthday, at least not since I was a kid. I don't know. I found the thing about people who get depressed on their birthday. It's not really because they're getting older. It's really, but they don't necessarily find themselves worthy. So if you find somebody on their birthday who is acting like that, and I'm not talking about myself, but if you're finding somebody who's acting like that, maybe that's what it is. Maybe don't be like, oh, you're still young. No. Maybe say, hey, you're worthy of being celebrated, right? I think that's what it is. So remember that. Somebody's birthday. But yeah, and hey, you know what? If you want to send me a present, you can always go on Venmo, JonDpodcom. You can always do that if you want it. 50. My son calls me old man. It's like, you're an old man. And he's not even 11 yet. So that's the thing. I was just talking about it. It's about to be in that age where it's like you turn 10, like, all right, you're moving up, double digits. But then once you're double digits for a minute, people go, yeah, all right, you're not really doing anything. So if you're going to wish somebody happy birthday, you are worthy. All right. Tyler, who had an email in episode 57, you can email the show if you want, JonDpodcom@gmail.com. And I'll read them. I'll read them on that thing, provided you don't insult me too much. Not that that's really happened. I'm just saying. Usually it's positive. And he said a thing, hey, did you see this? And I was literally, Tyler, I was just talking about this with my wife today. And then she gave me the whole, I was just talking about this the other day. And I went, what? We do those from time to time, right? But it's and I believe her. She maybe she did. And then, she's trying to talk to me and the kid just starts going, hey, blah, blah. He just literally just walks into a room like he's the only person. He's a little dictator. He just walks in there and everybody focus on me. So maybe my wife had been telling me about it. White Claw, 0% alcohol. What? Yeah. What kind of nonsense bullshit are they really trying to pull? I mean, I don't know. This is White Claw. This is seltzer water. That's all it is. I don't get it. I mean, White Claw is actually a malt liquor, right? Which is where they basically add sugar and stuff into with the barley and stuff to make it sweeter, but also to give it more fermentable content. So, but it puts a lot more sugar into it. Now they do say actually that malted beverages can actually be good for heart problems. And could have like riboflavin and vitamin B6. Yeah. But yeah, I did see that, Tyler, and I am investigating. Hold on one second. This is what White Claw, this is what they have to say about it. They say, a drink that tastes and feels like an alcoholic drink without the alcohol. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much what people they were going for. I mean, that's what people go for with the zero. I just don't. I mean, it's just flavored. What's the thing that you can buy? I sold it at Best Buy one time. The lady told me like 8 times that repeatedly, like 8 times that she was going to put alcohol in it. She's like, I'm going to make vodka, whatever. She kept talking about vodka. Getting the biggest bottle of Absolute she could find. What the heck is that? What was that thing called? Anyways, it's one of them. They have different ones. The ones where you get the flavored and you make them at home. Make your own soda at home. It's not the same. What's the Mitch Hedberg joke where he goes, I tried to make some Sprite at home, but they say it's lemon and lime, but there's more to it than that. I asked my friend, do you want some more homemade Sprite? He said, not until you figure out what the fuck else is in it. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just flavored. But they say, this is what they contend. This is what they're contending with this zero alcohol White Claw, which to me seems like some of the... Okay, but they're saying that it has an ultra refined seltzer. It's just seltzer water. It's flavored water. But here's what they're saying where theirs is better. As they say, quote, adds hydrating electrolytes with only a fraction of the sugar and calories. Yeah, all right. I guess. I don't know. And people are going to go, oh, well, don't you... Like, I love my Sam Adams Just the Haze. I love those things. And other NAs that I drink. Yes, I get it. I call them beer sodas. My problem is, what is White Claw going to charge for this? Because they're going to charge you. I mean, what is a soda? What does a flavored seltzer cost you? And what is White Claw going to charge for this? Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for the dry January. I'm happy for that. I'm glad to see people are doing it. You know, I know a lot of people that since I quit drinking almost 3 years ago that have gone on and done it themselves. And it's some people I love, some people I have just met. Hey, man, I quit a while back. Some of the people I've met through doing this podcast, some of the people I've met online. Don't get me wrong. I think the dry January thing is a good idea, at least for that. Sober October, whatever. Just all I ask, I do. I mean, get your bilirubin checked. It's a chemical in your liver. If you are a drinker, you drink quite often. I'm not saying what you should do with your life. Get your bilirubin checked. But back to what I'm saying, though, I just wonder what is White Claw going to charge for this? They're going to pay a lot of more money for nothing. You know, because I will admit, and that's one of the things I have with buying NAs. I get it. There's more of a process to it or whatever. I don't know. But I do kind of have a problem with them. Like, I'm not getting any buzz out of it. I do enjoy them. And they're reminiscent. But, you know, I got to find... I'm just saying. Taking the products. I know people like Guinness. Like Guinness makes a zero. I haven't had one. I'm not much of a Guinness fan. I do like them every once in a while. I'll drink one. I want to try one of the zeros. But I'm not going to go out and just buy one. A 4-pack for the same price as a 6er of an NA. You know, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, that is something. Just the Haze, Sam Adams. But a White Claw. Really? A White Claw? Sheesh. Like, I'm sober. But no, I'm sober for January, but I'm going to drink this. I'm going to pay way too much for a flavored seltzer, and that's going to be it. And I'm going to waste my money on this. Why? Because I want to look trendy. What is the point of this? I know I'm spending way too much time on it. I did see that, Tyler, and Tyler, of course, I think was referencing the fact that I've talked about some of this stuff in the past, but also I usually talk about the alcohol side, Mountain Dew alcohol, which, last episode I was talking about the nacho cheese, the empirical liquor nacho cheese Dorito stuff. Yeah. So I think he was bringing that back to my attention. It was something funny to rant about. I just don't see, what are they going to charge? Somebody look it up. And I'm not going to get any, but if somebody wants to try them and let me know, that'd be fine. Because I'm not going to do it. Oh, wait, I didn't even look up the flavor choices of this thing. Hold on a second. Mango passion. Well, surprise, because this is sheer marketing. It's mango. How many people out there are mango? Well, it's a mango. They drink it in something like this. But how many of those people have ever actually taken a mango home and eaten it? Not that many. I bet you not that many. And a passion fruit. If you showed somebody what a passion fruit really looks like, it's disgusting. I mean, people, they couldn't pick a passion fruit out of a lineup. Mango passion fruit. Whatever. Yeah, real surprise on that one. Peach orange blossom. Oh, are we having a refreshing beverage or are we spraying out the bathroom? Which one are we doing? Peach orange blossom. Sounds like something I tell my kid. He comes out the bathroom. I'm like, hey, spray that peach orange blossom your mom got. Oh, I'm just saying, hey, kids, right? And then what's that one? Lime yuzu. Now, yuzu, for all you people who don't know, because a lot of people are going to be Googling it, like at a bar or something or wherever. Oh, what is yuzu? Yuzu is an Eastern Asian citrus. I only know it from working in kitchens. It's the only way I know that in restaurants. And what the heck is that? It's weird looking. Here you go. This is the final one. This is the final of all these flavor choices. Black cherry cranberry. Well, in the word of Homer Simpson, boring. Oh my God. Really? It's like they went, what's left? What do we have left? Well, we used everything. We used the peach, the orange, the mango, Well, it looks like we have black cherries and cranberry. That's all we got. Well, screw it. Put them all together. That'll make a nice little menagerie, huh? Black cherry cranberry. I mean, it kind of rhymes. People like rhyming. Plus, it has electrolytes. Yeah. I don't get it. I am very interested to see how this turns out. I'm waiting for that story to pop up on Yahoo News where it says White Claw discontinuing Zero. I fully support the dry January. I think it's a great idea. I really do. Having been no booze for almost 3 years. So, and for good reasons. And I know there are other people out there who probably need to at least take a break for good reasons. Okay. Let's be honest. And so I fully support that. But I think I think it is literally just sheer marketing. It's just sheer getting on the bandwagon. Dry January. What? Oh, go over there and take all the booze out of that stuff. Take all the booze. I don't care how you do it. Get the booze out of it. All right, find some bottles. Rinse them out first. Yeah. I think that's funny. Pure marketing. Yeah, and people will buy them. But I'm interested to see. You know what? If I ever see one and it's like, hey, you want this? It's free. I will try it, but only if it's. Which one would I pick though? Do I have a? I'm not. Well, peach orange. I like peach and orange. I like peaches and orange. I don't know black cherry, but it's got cranberry in there. Yeah, I'll just have a water. Thanks. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a break. Make sure you follow me on social media: John D Comedy, John D Podcast. On Twitter, X, whatever. JonDpodcom on Instagram and Threads. John D Podcast on Facebook. I got some shows coming up. Some pretty cool places. I'm pretty excited about that. It's pretty cool. And you can follow more about that on my social media. And, of course, social media is always fun. But you can email me on the show here, JonDpodcom@gmail.com. Yeah, shoot me an email. I love emails. They're fun. I haven't had any in a minute, but they're always fun to do. Yeah, so you can hit me up there. And please don't forget to check out Quick Burn, my short comedy album on the JonDpodcom channel on YouTube. And I just took everything that I had on you. I just tried to make it into a condensed one channel thing. But it's on there on YouTube. Quick Burn, John D. Miller, Quick Burn. Just look that up. And you can see, like, subscribe, download. Yeah, so coming up after the break, get to that part now. We're going to have some NFL because we're going to have to talk about it. We have to. Well, we're not going to talk about it. I'm going to discuss it. And hopefully you're going to listen about it because it was a crazy Wildcard Weekend. And then some entertainment stuff. I do love talking about entertainment news and whatnot. We will be talking about something that involves Pauly Shore and Richard Simmons. Yeah, check that out after the break. More John D Podcast right after this. When I quit booze for good, one thing I learned was to always keep your palate entertained. And one of my new favorite ways to make it happen is BlendJet 2. BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend up a smoothie at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even an NA margarita on the beach. It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking up the whole house. Lasts for 15 plus blends and recharges quickly via USB-C. Best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just blend water with a drop of soap and you're good to go. With over 30 plus colors and patterns to choose from, there's a BlendJet 2 to complement just about any style. What are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today. And be sure to use the promo code JonDpod12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. Blend anytime, anywhere with BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code JonDpod12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever. BlendJet 2. And welcome back to part 2 of episode 59 of John D Podcast. I'm your host, John D. Miller. How was your break, everybody? Yeah, thank you to BlendJet for being a sponsor on the show again. JonDpod12 at checkout for 12% off your order and free shipping. Yeah, just make sure you put that code in. Make sure the code is in. Gotta have it. So, anyways, thank you to BlendJet for being a sponsor today. My birthday, actually. I'm actually recording this. It's after midnight, so it's my birthday. So I'm 50 years old. Yeah. I took a couple days to get back to this. And so, yeah, sorry about that. You know, I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of people who do podcasts don't do them all in one day. Certainly not with the editing and doing everything else and everything else I've had going on. And I got to try to make money doing something. Which, hey, if you want to support the show, JonDpodcom on Venmo, JonDpodcom on Venmo. You got to support the show? It is my birthday. All right. I had to throw that in there. Sorry. Okay. So which one of these are we going to do? We're going to do the entertainment news or we're going to do the sports? I had some couple people were like, hey, you haven't done entertainment stuff. We kind of like when you talk about that. And then, you know, but I always have my people that like to hear me talk about football or disagree with me about football. I don't know. I get it all, I think. But I think we're going to start off with the entertainment news because this is something I saw today. Yes, whatever. Yesterday, the 17th. I saw something, and I think it's very interesting. So there is a movie coming out that is a biopic, and it is about Richard Simmons. Now, many of people my age, 50, maybe a few years younger, obviously, but obviously a few years older, of course, and up. Well, remember the fitness guy, Richard Simmons, who, I don't judge anybody. I'm really not. But I do remember being a kid and watching it and thinking, this guy's a little off. But, he had energy. He had compassion for people. I love the stuff he used to do on Letterman. He would come on and Letterman always kind of abused him. It was kind of funny. And he would get mad and stuff like that. And most of the time, I think it was all in good. It was all in good humor. Although I do know there was one time Letterman did something and it kind of went a little overboard. I kind of wasn't in the sketch. I don't know the exact details. I am remembering it vaguely, but I do remember it being something like that. So let me pull this up here. So the biopic has Pauly Shore in it, and it actually started from a meme. And I remember this meme, and it had a picture of Richard Simmons, had a picture of Pauly Shore, and it kind of jump-started the thing. And it was saying how, hey, here is your perfect casting, setup. It's called The Court Jester. It starts off as a short film, but supposedly it's going to end up being a feature-length film. It's done by development with Warner Brothers, and a division of them, I guess, would be considered. It's called the Wolper Project. No, the Wolper Organization, I believe is what it is, which is the Wolper. Is that the computer from War Games? Oh, there we go. There's a reference for some of my people, some of my majority demographic. Yeah, I just watched that like 2 weeks ago. War Games. Matthew Broderick, remember? Yeah. Would you like to play a game? All right. Yeah, it was a fun break. Anyways, this is what's going on. So Richard Simmons is not with it. He is not down with this project that is being made. And I actually watched the trailer. They have a little trailer thing. First off, I think that Pauly Shore is probably a little more talented than people want to give him credit for. I know they say, hey, the weasel, right? But this could be a defining moment in his career. It really could be. And apparently he has really, really put his heart into this. And he reached out to Richard Simmons and said, hey, I want to make this picture. And Richard Simmons, who hasn't been seen in public in like 10 years or something like that, is like, no, I don't want my story told. I don't want this to happen. But yet they are proceeding forward with this, have made it. Pretty much. It's about to be at Sundance, actually. And actually tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, the 19th of January, it's going to be premiering at a theater in like Utah, somewhere in Utah. I don't know why. Utah's known for their acceptance of gay fitness trainers, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's what he was, Richard Simmons. But he's not down with this. And I'm kind of torn on it. I've been reading about it. And I don't know. Like, how would I feel if I wanted to keep my life private and I wanted to, I didn't want my story told. But apparently that's what they've done. And I don't know how much extent they go into it. I don't know what the parameters of that are, whatever. But how would you feel? I don't know. It really made me think about it. Your real history. Think about your real history, right? Is it going that far into it? Because, I don't know if you ever read anything about Richard Simmons or anything like that, but there have been some stuff that's been told about him. And, but he's also at the same time remained a very private person. And it kind of, when it actually really came out, that was a very big thing, because it was always one of those things where, because that's how it used to be back in the 80s and stuff, yes, there were men that were openly gay, right? And then there was a lot of men that, you didn't really, yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, but it wasn't a thing, hey, I think that their mentality was, look, I just want to exist in this world and not get judged for it. I think I said something to my mom, like, that guy's, Richard Simmons is gay, right? And she was like, I don't know, and it wasn't a big deal to me. But at the same time, I do. It was never discussed. So is that going to be part of it? I don't know. Because Richard Simmons has said in a statement that, don't believe what you read. His representative made a statement that says, Richard and I are not endorsing this project. It is unauthorized. I spoke to Pauly last year and told him Richard is not ready to tell his story. And then Simmons actually said, I have never given permission for this movie, so I don't believe everything you read. I no longer have a manager and no longer have a publicist. I just try to live a quiet life and be peaceful. Thank you for all your love and support. I thought it was interesting, don't believe everything you read or hear. Yeah, because it is Hollywood. But man, it made me think, how would you feel about that? If somebody really kind of delved into, I think Pauly could pull it off. I think this could be his thing. It really could. So Keep an eye out for that. Yeah, it's called The Court Jester. I really feel like it's going to be something to keep an eye on. All right, let's get away from Hollywood and go to. Let's talk about the NFL. We have to. It was Wildcard Weekend, and it was a wild weekend. My team, the Dallas Cowboys, lost miserably to a very talented young team, a Green Bay Packers team that is playing its ass off. I was talking to executive producer Topic. That's his voicemail when you call him. Who he was saying he mentioned it, and I agree with him. It's crazy. Did Green Bay end up getting 3 great quarterbacks in a row? You sons of bitchin', right? It looks like they might have, because that Jordan Love kid threw all over the place off his back foot. He was floating in midair at one point, I swear. And defense had no answer for it. Dak, and some people, including Tom, including some other people, have been like, no, well, Dak, I don't know. But I think the general consensus is that McCarthy needs to go, yet it was just announced yesterday evening, technically, that Jerry Jones is saying that McCarthy will be back. And that is... Why on my birthday, Jerry? Why on my almost to my birthday, now part of my birthday as I'm processing this? Come on, man. Come on. I'm sorry. That riles me up, man. I hate whenever they show the owners during at the end of a game. They're like, oh, here's a pissed off millionaire. I get it. It's a lot of money that he just spent on, not getting the ultimate prize, which is what everybody does to, wants in it for. Still, show the fans. Those are the people that, saved up for 3 months just to go to one game and their team loses. And in it, lost terribly. So I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I read it today. And people, oh, you get rid of Dak or no? I don't know how many fans Jerry Jones has pissed off, but I'm not going to sit there and sit through that shit again. Come on, man. Some people would say, as Tom said, and other people, hey, do you want to get rid of these guys and then in 2 years be facing against them? No, but at the same time, what else? You got to do something. You got to take a risk at somewhere, somehow. I mean, whether they do or not, obviously they're not getting rid of McCarthy. I'm interested to see what Dak does, either himself or what the team does, because isn't he up for renewal? So that'll be something to keep an eye on. But hey, not everybody is a Cowboys fan. That's okay. Let's talk about the other though big upset was the Bucs taking out the Eagles. What in the seriously? I thought the Eagles are badass. I thought their tush push was unstoppable. I thought, they seemed like they were having a sideline meltdown. I think it is not made better by their coach. And I tell you, it was, after what I had to witness the day before happening to my Cowboys, it was pretty cool to watch. I know. I was being a hater. I was definitely being a hater for sure. Especially the Bucs. But Baker Mayfield, man, come on. Who doesn't like that dude? Huh? That's crazy. That's a good game. Bills beat the Steelers. I'm not doing this by whatever. Bills beat the Steelers. Should have been. Josh Allen is a beast. So people are complaining about his fake slides on the social medias and wherever. His fake slides. Dude, that was a beast. I was telling Tom the other night about, if you took Josh Allen and gave him that Cowboys offense, I bet you a lot of things would get done. Don't get me wrong. Dak is not a terrible quarterback. He's definitely above average in my opinion. But there's just, people who get things done. And I'm not saying Josh Allen has ever gotten it done. All of it. I've been a fan of Josh Allen for a while, so I know. Lions took out the Rams. Now, Tom was very torn on this one, but I think he came out fine. As you know, Tom is a lifelong Rams fan, California and all, right? And then, even through St. Louis, just Rams forever. But then, of course, he started liking the Lions. The Lions when Goff left. So he's a Goffling, I guess. But that was a pretty good game. I had not really watched it. And I actually ended up going back and watching the condensed version of the game. Yeah. There were a couple times the penalties. I think it was the false start or something. That was not. But, some of the refereeing is, it's some of the rule. What's the rule? What's the not? Yeah. So you got Mayfield and Goff, who were, gotten rid of by their teams and went somewhere else. And now they, look at they're in the playoffs. Where's their other teams, huh? Where are they? Chiefs and the Dolphins. Nobody really didn't expect this, but a couple people talking to Tom last night, and then also a couple other people have brought up the fact that Mahomes, what is he doing? He's become a little whiny, in my opinion. Somebody doesn't catch a ball, throwing his arms up in the air, making it blatantly known in front of 70,000 people. It was not my fault. It's going to be interesting for them next week. That is for sure. And Mahomes, he needs to get it. Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback. You give him the Dallas offense, I think he would have quite of a, I think he'd be successful. All right. And then, let's see, Texans and Browns. I didn't even get to watch this game because the stupid thing was on Peacock. It's $5 a month and it's a 30-day free trial. What's the big deal? Told a guy, I think it was on Threads. He was like, hey, it's only $5 a month and you have a 30-day. Well, then can I have $5 then? Because knowing my ass, I will forget to cancel and I won't remember for probably 2 months. So if you split the $10 with me, I'll try it. Does that work? So I didn't really get to watch the game, but look at what the Joe Flacco did in Cleveland and coming back and, everything. The guy was literally sitting on his back porch hanging out and Cleveland's like, hey man, are you busy? Yeah. So, and I think he showed he still had the skill that he used to a little bit, but at the same time, no, he didn't. And Houston Texans are a good team. I watched a couple of games this season where Stroud, watching the Texans and just Stroud, he's, what? You really could see a Green Bay, like Jordan Love and then CJ Stroud going at it against each other. I'm not saying this year, but don't be surprised if it could happen. Yeah, he is the heartbeat of that offense for sure. And he does it well. So yeah, next week's going to be fun. I don't know what's going to happen. By the time you hear this, the weekend, though, obviously could be past. I don't know why some of you, it takes a couple of weeks for you to get around to listening. I've said before, at least a week, but it's okay. It's all right. Whenever you get to it. If nothing else, you're playing catch up or I say something that, was horribly not going to happen. And I said it would and it doesn't. You can be like, ha, John, stupid. Yeah. So enjoy the football and everything else. Keep an eye on the thing about Pauly Shore and Richard Simmons. I think that's going to could be a pretty big story to start off 2024 with. Yeah. All right. Let's do our charities real quick. First off, No Kid Hungry. Many school-aged children are in situations where the best meal of the day for them comes from school. No Kid Hungry helps children with meals when children in need are away from school, such as weekends and holidays. Wounded Warrior Project. The brave men and women who have served our country deserve the best care we can give them. After they return home, some of them have wounds that are external and or internal that they might need help with, or even just accessible housing. Wounded Warrior Project, bestfriends.org, is making a difference by helping homeless dogs and cats in shelters be adopted faster and in more numbers. Their goal is to have the entire country no-kill by the year 2025. Check out and support these charities. And of course, after the charity, if you got time for a little chair on me, you can donate to the cause, JonDpodcom, JOND, pod, PODCOM, on Venmo. You can do that. And hey, it is my birthday. Yeah, I'm 50 years old, man. I am 50 years old. Yeah, it's really crazy to think about. I do want to address one thing real quick before we get out of here. I hope you've had fun listening, but I want to tell you this, so don't start looking for another one. Just give me 1 second, please. 3 years ago, I lost a friend of mine from my younger years to suicide, and it happened kind of right before my birthday, and it was really tough because he was a good dude, and I don't say his name because if you know who he was, like, a lot of people know he died, but they don't necessarily know how or why. And his family I knew, but his family has asked me kind of just not to say his name out of privacy. And I respect that. It's one of those things where it just, once again, has reminded me to just tell people in this new year, in this time and age, if you're having any issues, there is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 988 on your phone. Just dial 988 on any phone. Works just like 911 does. But there are people there who will counsel you. They can help you in ways, and they will. And I'm not going to tell you how to know that, but they will. And it's not just for suicide. If you're having mental health issues, you could call that number. They will help you. Okay? And they care. And it's 24 hours a day. And it doesn't have to be if you're just feeling suicidal. It could just be a crisis line. They have all different connections to social services and different programs that might be closer to you and places you can go and people you could talk to. It's a really good thing. 988. Okay? Would this have helped everybody in life that's ever, kind of gone this road? I don't know. But I feel like maybe it could. It could have. Okay? Just remember that. Just 988. Okay? And if you know somebody that might need help, you can call them as well. And they will help. They will help you do that. They will help you find ways to help that person. Okay? So I'm not trying to end it on a down note, but at the same time, I just wanted to share that. Okay. If I can help just from learning and seeing what happened, if I can help anybody and knowing that I've been down myself and I know other people who've been down and try to help them, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. All right. I just wanted to say that. Again, Happy New Year. I hope it's a great one. I'm going to be back here as soon as possible. We're going to try to keep an eye on this Pauly Shore, Richard Simmons thing. Make sure you check out the NFL playoffs. Shout out to MondoMonsterwear.com. I didn't really talk about anything nerdy today, but we're still going to mention them anyways. MondoMonsterwear.com. Shirts that feed the geeky minds. Podcast at checkout for 10% off and free shipping. Don't forget BlendJet. JonDpod12 at checkout for 12% off and free shipping. Executive producers for John D Podcast are Tom Hancock and Liz Miller. Thanks to them each for helping to make this happen in their own ways. This episode was recorded and produced by yours truly, John D. Miller, in the Amber Tree Media Studio. All right. Well, I'm 50, everybody. Well, damn it. I'm going to be back to you sooner rather than later, I hope. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And until next time, later for you.